Oh my gosh, I'm about to buy a house. I can't wait. Wait, I don't know what to look for when I buy a house. What do I do? What am I supposed to know when I'm gonna go view a house? If this is you and you have asked these questions and are wondering just what to do, I have 5 things for you to look for, and we're going to get into them right now. Hey there, I'm Kelsey Joy Rinker, aka your joyful real estate moment. If you haven't, be sure to click that subscribe button so that you do not miss out on any future videos. New videos every week with advice and tips to help you in your real estate journey. Okay, so you want to start buying a house and you're going to start viewing and looking at homes. I'm going to give you 5 things to look for so that you are prepared when you go in. Now, the biggest mistake that I find many of my clients doing is actually worrying about cosmetic issues. They may be minor issues when they step into a home. I'm talking about walking to a home and not liking the paint color or not liking the carpet or maybe thinking that the backsplash is a little bit ugly. Too many buyers get caught up in the small and easily changeable details, and they often overlook the bigger picture and pass up on an otherwise perfect house for something that can be changed out within a day or two for minimal effort. So, anytime you're checking out property, this is some things to look at. The location. Now, this is very important because you are stuck with your location. You can't change that. You can't just pick up your house and move over a couple streets. So, regardless of how much money you sink into the property, how much you put into it, how much you pay for it, this is something that you cannot change. So, that is very important to look for when you're about to go get a house. Now, the second is the floor plan. Now, this can be fixed, but it's just a matter of money. So if you are okay with making some changes, then this isn't something that you need to think too much about. But at a certain price, things just don't make sense to fix. So if you're buying a property $100,000 under market value, then maybe changing the floor plan can be justified and doable. But if you're buying it at retail level and the floor plan kind of stinks, then maybe the house just isn't for you and it's time to move on. Now, the third thing that I mentioned already is cosmetic issues. This can be easily changed very inexpensively, all things considered. So don't get too caught up in there. You can create the home that you love with what it has already. So don't worry too much about that. The fourth thing is foundation. This is very important. When you're in the house, check out the foundation. Do you feel that it's stable? Are there any unlevel areas? Are there cracks on the floor? Is there anything that's making you feel uneasy? Because oftentimes, actually, I had a client who really loved this house and I stepped into it and things felt a little off. Now it was upgraded, it was beautiful, it was very nice, but the foundation was definitely a little bit off and you felt a little claustrophobic and like you were kind of rocking around in a ship. So you do not want that. You want a good, steady, solid foundation, knowing that it was built in the right way and that there will be no possible mishaps in the future. Now, the fifth thing to consider is neighbor noise. Now, you may not know this at the time of your showing, but this is something that you will want to think about and put into consideration. Are the neighbors going out super late at night? On the weekends? Are they partying? While neighbors come and go, the chances are that there won't be noisy neighbors forever, but this is definitely something you want, especially if you have maybe kids or you really just want to go to sleep at a decent hour, then this is something to think about when you're getting into it. And maybe your agent can ask the neighbors, get an idea of what it's like. And I would also say just the neighborhood in general and the community you're in. If there are schools nearby, you also want to think about those things because you're not just getting into a home, but you are getting into a neighborhood and a community. Now, bonus tip. As a buyer, possibly first time buyer, if you're not a first time buyer, then you will know this. But if you are a first time buyer, do not open up any lines of credit or buy anything expensive 6 months prior to getting your mortgage. That is the worst thing you can do right before getting a loan to get yourself into debt and give the bank a reason not to give you the loan. So always get the mortgage first, then whatever you decide to do after, that's on you. You can go buy that fancy car, you can go buy a motorcycle, whatever it is, just do it after the fact so that the bank is not scared and worried about that. All right, I hope you enjoyed those tips, and be sure to check out my first time home buying checklist video right there so that you can get more information on how to buy your first home as well. If you haven't, again, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss anything coming up. All right, I'll see you next time.